And the Auburn Tigers defend their SEC tournament title this week in Nashville, Tennessee. Let's discuss it on this live edition of the Uptempo podcast. Yes, sir. What is up, Auburn family? What is up, Tempo gang? Dustin Smith with you guys on another live edition of the Uptempo podcast. Our guy Blake's got to work a little late tonight, but he will be dropping some baseball stuff for you guys tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that. Today, I wanted to just kind of look at this Nashville situation. Auburn entering into the SEC tournament this week. What's on the line for our Auburn Tigers? Do they have anything to gain? Do they have anything to lose? How important is it to defend that title? We know that we won this tournament last year and then drop out in the first round of March Madness of the Big Dance to the Yale Bulldogs. It's been a fun regular season, right? But now postseason play starts. It's nothing but neutral courts from here on out. Even though a lot of people like to call Nashville Auburn North. It's going to be a fun week, man. I want to pull up the bracket. You guys get in here, hit that like button, sub to the channel if you have not already as we get in here and get this thing rolling. I'm going to pull up the bracket. And while we do this, I'm going to go ahead and make my predictions for how I think the tournament will go. And I would like for you guys to kind of play along and put down in the comments who you think is going to win some of these matchups, who your champion is going to be, and things like that. Our Auburn Tigers have set themselves up nicely, though, not having to play for a couple of days, right? So I've got to pull it up here on the screen. Auburn doesn't have to play until the quarterfinals, baby. We're not playing until Friday. SEC tournament kicks off tomorrow. You've got South Carolina and Arkansas. I'm picking the Razorbacks to play the Ole Miss Rebels. So I think that Arkansas will defeat South Carolina. If you disagree, let me know. You've got Texas and Vanderbilt round one. Give me the Vandy Commodores all day. Game 3 is LSU versus Mississippi State. That's easy pickings. That might be the easiest one of day one. And then give me Georgia over Oklahoma, and what I am sure will be a late 8, maybe 9 o'clock tip Central Time in game 4 right there. Give me the Georgia Bulldogs. So then looking at that next round, that would give us Arkansas versus Ole Miss. Let's go. Give me Arkansas. I'm going to pick Arkansas coming off of this nice little finish they've had to the season, beating Mississippi State in that tight game Saturday. Give me Arkansas to defeat Ole Miss and face Auburn on Friday. And then I had Vanderbilt beating Texas, but I don't think they get past A&M. Give me the Aggies there. Then I had Mississippi State beating LSU. So let's go ahead and go with Missouri beating Mississippi State. I'm going to pick the Missouri Tigers to beat Mississippi State. That'll be a great ball game. And then Kentucky versus Georgia will be another good ball game. But let me go with Kentucky, man. I know I'm going chalk here. I'm going a lot of high seeds and I'm the higher seeds, and I'm sure it's not going to play out that way. But man, the top of the SEC is so damn good. It's so damn good this year. And then let's look on to the quarterfinals. I'm going to predict Auburn to beat Arkansas. And we'll get into that a little bit later on in the show, just how important I think that is. I think Auburn will defeat Arkansas. I do think, though, that those 2 wins for Arkansas will be important. They're coming in at 19-12. That would put them at 21-13 if the tournament plays out the way that I think it will for them. And I think that should be enough to get them into the big dance. Tennessee versus Texas A&M, boy, that will be a fun one, huh? That's such a tough defensive battle. Give me Tennessee because it's in Nashville. That's going to be my whole reason there. It really is that close of a matchup. I could very easily see the Aggies winning. Give me the Tennessee Vols. Give me Florida over Missouri easy. Give me Alabama over Kentucky pretty easy, which would leave us with a Final Four of Auburn and Tennessee and Florida and Alabama. That's right. I know. Shocking. I've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. But look, I think, like I said, I think the top half of this SEC is absolutely legit. So, and then I think that give me Florida beating Alabama and give me Tennessee to beat our Tigers in a close one. And look, I know nobody wants to hear that, but we just snuck by them the last time, and I think it'll be another low-scoring defensive game, and I think Tennessee might eke that one out. And then give me Florida over Tennessee. I'm picking Florida to win the whole SEC tournament. I just think they're that damn good. Not that Auburn, Alabama, and Tennessee aren't, but that's the way I'm going to predict this to play out. Hope I'm wrong. Obviously, anytime Auburn's playing in a sport, I hope Auburn wins it. Let's see what some of you guys think. Bob says, we have a very good chance of winning this SEC tournament. We absolutely do, man. If you don't play till Friday, you got plenty of time to rest up. We know that Denver needs some rest. I think Janai needs some rest. So you do have a very good opportunity. And no matter what, whether you face either one of these three teams here that are a possibility, South Carolina, Arkansas, or Ole Miss, you're going to have to like Auburn in that first round matchup, and you win one game, and then you're in the semifinals, right? That's what happens when you get the number one overall seed. So, yeah, I think the best, there'll be a Saturday matchup with Tennessee in the semis. Close, first 1 to 60 win style game. If Tennessee would have beat Auburn the last time, then I would pick Auburn to win this time. That's kind of just my thinking there. Hope I'm wrong on that. Hopefully Auburn can pull it out. I would love nothing more to be back-to-back SEC tournament champs. Let's get to a few more of you guys' comments here. Jeff says, War Damn Eagle, best AU pod around. Love you guys. Hey, appreciate you, Jeff. That means the world to us, man. We strive to provide entertaining content for you guys here, but we also want to be realistic and kind of tone down the sunshine pump and keep it real. Not always the easiest thing to do in the college space, right? Fan is short for fanatic. We thank you for enjoying us, thinking that we're the best around. We do greatly appreciate it. Bob saying, War Eagle roomies, what's up, Bob? I'm glad that you look at us and look at everybody in the chat as your roomies, man. That's good to hear. Susan says, War Eagle. Everybody kind of saying hey to each other in the chat. This great community that we built here. Hey, guys, do me a favor real quick, man. Really, really smash that thumbs up button. Share this out on social media. You know, normally we go live at 7 o'clock on Tuesday night, going live at 5 or 4:45 today. So a lot of people aren't in the chat yet. Let them know that we get this thing going, or maybe they can watch this on a replay. But yeah, that's my prediction. I'm going to pick the Florida Gators, who I think are one of the best team in the country to pull this one out. And I do think that they defeat Tennessee in a very close 75-72 style game. I think the Saturday and Sunday matchups, this whole tournament is going to be a lot of fun. But the Saturday and Sunday matchups, the semifinals, should be a blast. And let's talk about teams that maybe could make a run. I wouldn't, looking if we saw A&M make a deep run, if I saw Kentucky or Missouri make a deep run, hell, if I saw 10 seed Mississippi State make a little bit of a run, definitely would not surprise me at all. Bob says that the results of this past week mean absolutely nothing now. Bob, you're absolutely right. Our Auburn Tigers have lost 2 in a row, dropped one to A&M on the road, then dropped one at home at the buzzer, to Alabama. Just what a gut punch that was. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like I said, there's no more road games. There's no more home games. It's all neutral side from here, which means it's March, baby, which means it's tournament time. And you guys have been listening to us all year. You know how fired up I've been for this. I knew this Auburn team was going to be good. Whenever I saw the non-conference schedule that Bruce Pearl was putting together, I said, oh, man, I think Bruce thinks he's got a really, really good team. You're not going to go to Maui and then the Purdue's and the Houstons and all the things that Bruce did if you don't think that you've got one hell of a squad. Obviously, lead the nation in quad 1 wins. So kind of panned out, right? The high expectations, Auburn deserves them. Auburn has earned them. SEC regular season champs. And even if Auburn goes on to win this tournament, to me, the SEC regular season championship, especially in this year's SEC, still means a little bit more, well, a lot more, honestly, than the SEC tournament would. But it would be fun, right? It would be fun to go back to back. But this is really kind of what I wanted to talk about today. What do we want to see this week from Auburn and what really matters, right? If you saw Coach Cal, the head coach at Arkansas, he laid out kind of what me and Blake have been talking about. I saw he had a clip going viral yesterday on the interwebs of him saying he doesn't care much about this tournament. I thought that was a little weird, seeing Arkansas's record and situation. They could use a few more wins. I didn't necessarily agree with him there. But I get what he's saying, right? And me and Blake have been screaming this from the mountaintop. It's not about what we like or what we don't like. It's about what the committee likes. And if you're a team like Auburn, you've put 31 games on the resume. You won 27 of them. Half of those damn near are quad one wins. So they've seen what they need to see, right? There's not a whole lot more they're going to see from Auburn this week. Auburn's played all these teams. Auburn's beat all these teams for the most part. There's an exception of Florida there, and A&M. But Auburn's shown themselves, and it's that same way for all these teams, right? Like they know what Florida is. Florida's a damn good team. They know how good Alabama is. So it was kind of weird to see one of the few coaches where this tournament could mean a little something to, but maybe it doesn't, man. Maybe Calipari's even like they at 19-12, they've seen from us what they want to see. And unless we win the whole thing, you don't get the automatic bid. It doesn't mean nothing as far as speaking from his perspective. So interesting comments from him. But here's what I think matters. Let me pull this comment back up to kind of elaborate on it. Bob saying the results of this past week mean absolutely nothing, right? I agree with you on both ways, right, Bob? So the losses, the back-to-back losses, it's over now, right? It doesn't mean anything. Same thing if Auburn would have won. It's good for nothing now. We saw that last year, right? You won the tournament, then you lost the first round of Yale, and it became a whole meme, right? We've heard it all year. Yale, 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 Yale. We've had to wait all season despite our wins to get to that point of redemption, and that won't start until the big dance. So, yeah, if Auburn would have won both games, and I can't say it wouldn't mean nothing because I know we all want to sweep Bama in that part of it. But as far as like the grand scheme of everything, yeah, this is the time to lock in. This is the time to start getting things done if you're Auburn. And so what do I want to see? I mean, first and foremost, obviously, we want to see Auburn stay healthy. That kind of goes without saying, but most important to me is Auburn stay healthy. The fact that you've got this week to rest up and get Janai right. Let Denver Jones kind of continue to recover and get right. He looked like he was out there Saturday because he needed to be out there, but he did not look like he was as healthy as he could be. So no midweek game this week. You've earned yourself the ability to not play till Friday. Let's go. No BS. I don't want to hear about any BS this week. The plane being turned around or any kind of altercations, Bruce having to send people to the locker room or guys getting kicked out of games. None of that. Let's show up. Let's act professional. Let's act like the number one team in the country is supposed to act. No BS. None. There's no need for it. It's go time. And if Auburn wants to accomplish its goal of winning the national championship, then any of those little shenanigans that have kind of just popped up throughout the season, those need to be cut out, and they need to be cut out now. The time for that is over. So clean, professional, man. Act like pros. You're getting paid. NIL money. Act like pros, and this team has for the most part all season. Look, there's going to be calls you don't like, right? There's going to be missed fouls on the other team. Let's maintain our cool. Let's not get out of our composure because I think at this point, if you're an opposing coach, why would you not try to poke and prod a guy like CBM and get him tossed out of the game? I mean, why wouldn't you? So yes, everybody, man, maintain your cool. Let's go out there. Let's just focus on basketball. Keep it about basketball and play good, clean Auburn basketball. See a lot of you guys in the comments saying rebounding for sure. I'm going to see Auburn rebound the basketball this week with tenacity, with effort, and fundamentals. Like there's a lot of this stuff, man. I've gone back and watched the overtime of the Alabama game where we gave up 6 offensive rebounds, and I'm not questioning effort. I see guys trying to get to the ball. They're not grabbing the ball. Or they're not in the right position when it comes time to box out, So the fundamentals of rebounding, I want to see Auburn get back to doing those things the right way because, like I see some of you guys saying in the comments, Bob says, every game we've lost this season has been because of rebounding. And Bob's not lying. We have lost on the boards in the 4 games that we've had, or in our 4 losses this year, rebounding. And I think the most disappointing part of last Saturday versus Bama was Bruce said it. We all saw the pregame speech. He said it, and he said it all week in the presser leading up and everything else. He said we cannot let Alabama crush us on the offensive boards. And they did in the first half. I'm sure they went in there at halftime. Bruce got in their ass and they talked about it. Did great in the second half. I believe I'm right on this. Don't hold my foot to the fire. But I believe that Auburn didn't allow an offensive rebound in the second half. And then they allowed 6 in overtime, 3 on one killer possession. So, yes, absolutely. We've got to rebound the ball. Let's see what else here. Look, because of the 2 straight, okay, because of the 2 straight losses, I want to see Auburn win a game. And that's when I brought up the bracket and I said, I want to see Auburn win that Friday game, which I think will be versus Arkansas. We need to win that one. If Auburn wins that one and then loses Saturday to Tennessee or maybe Texas A&M again, then I'm not going to be that upset, right? As long as it's competitive and we play close like Auburn has the majority of their losses this season. And well, Florida and A&M kind of took it to us, I guess. We got to win a game. We got to get back on track. I don't want to enter March. I don't want to enter the big dance with 3 straight losses. So I want to see Auburn that Friday night, whoever they play, blow them out. Blow them out. Have one of them days where we hit 10, 11, 12 threes. Janai eats, gets his double-double down low, goes plus 20. Let's see Denver have a nice, efficient night. I want to see Miles find a stroke again. Chaney Johnson, where you at, big fella? We need you, Chaney. We need you. We talk about this rebounding, right? We talk about this damn rebounding. Where you at, Chaney? We need Chaney to step up and do his thing on the glass. I just want to see the guys get their swagger back. I don't want to see this team entering into the tournament losing 3 straight. And it still wouldn't be the end of the world. I mean, you're still going to be a number 1 seed. You play a 16 seed. You should handle your business, right? Don't ever want to jinx anything. They call it March Madness for a reason. But you should handle your business in that scenario. But I want to see Auburn win a game. You don't have to win it. I'd love for Auburn to win it. But you don't have to win the whole tournament. But I'd like to see you win a game. Get off the snide, man. Get off the snide. Let's get back to our winning ways. I want to see this Auburn team feel like the Auburn team we've seen all year. And I think that after the way they lost Saturday, I mean, we played great Saturday. Was everything perfect? No. But that's what happens when you play good teams, right? That's what happens when you play a well-coached team, like Nate Oates. Nate Oates is a great coach. I hate him as far as being an Auburn fan, but they're going to play good basketball. Our members know because I did the member pods on them. Very high on the Bear and Phylon. Bruce said in the pregame leading into that Alabama game Saturday, he said, we wanted LeBaron, make no mistake about it. When he decommitted from us, he committed to Kansas. When he decommitted to Kansas, he said, we tried everything to get back into it. Blake's been saying that all year. Blake's saying has been, and boy, if we have LeBaron, it'd be GG's in the chat, national champs. If you replace LeBaron Fallon with JJ Pegues, it's hard to picture anybody beating this Auburn team this year. So I say all that just to give Bama their credit. I don't think Auburn played bad Saturday, but winning is winning and losing is losing. So I do want to see Auburn win a game. Would love to see Auburn win 2, win 3, win a championship. But even if Auburn got to the title and lost, whatever. I just want to see Auburn get a couple of wins under their belt this week to feel good about themselves and get that confidence and get that Auburn swagger back that this group has had all year. And my final thing, man, I'm going to get to some of you guys' comments that I really want to – now hear me again. Y'all hear me loud and clear here, okay? I'm going to be very clear here. Take a little sip of my coffee, guys. I'm riding solo tonight. Pull the bracket back up. Let's pull the bracket back up so you guys can see just what I'm talking about here. Because there's one scenario, right, where our Auburn Tigers play Alabama in this tournament again. And that'd be in the championship game on Sunday. Auburn does not have to win this tournament, in my opinion. And as a fan, I'm not going to, we won it last year. I know how hard the league is this year. We're locked into a number 1 seed. Winning it would probably lock in the number 1 overall seed. Despite what Danny Cannell says, Danny Cannell can kiss my ass. I will be doing a pod breaking down just how good the SEC is in all sports on our Just a Sec channel sometime this week. I'm getting all my stats queued up, my graphs and everything. So you guys stay on the lookout for that. I'm working hard on that one. I'm really excited about it, actually. Just how good this conference has been across all sports. But we're going to talk about basketball too. This is a deep league. It's a deep league, right? But if Auburn plays Alabama in that championship game, oh, you bet you bet I want to win that one. And then all of a sudden, you're going to hear me saying Auburn needs to win. So there is a scenario where, in my opinion, Auburn must win this tournament championship. And that's if we play Bama in the championship game. Me and all of you guys in the comments or anybody watching on replay, I don't think any of y'all have quite got over what happened Saturday yet. If you're a real Auburn fan, you shouldn't, because I'm not over Iron Bowl losses from 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. You know, I mean the triple OT one, the Harsin year when he was the coach and we were at home and we took him with TJ Finley at QB and all that. That one's still really like, I'm getting sick sitting here thinking about it. So a buzzer beater that just happened last Saturday, man, to our arch rival. I know everybody watching this podcast is an Auburn fan. You're still pissed off about it. And you should be. I've had to hear it from my Alabama family this week. A lot of them haven't texted me all season about basketball. Damn sure didn't text me after the last time we played, and all of a sudden they're letting me know, hey, man, hey, did you watch the game? Hey, buzzer beater, March tears, yada, yada, yada. So, look, if we get Bama again, we have to handle it. It's 1-1. We have to handle it. So if we get that rubber match in that SEC championship game, yes, sir, you got to get that one. So what I want to see this week, stay healthy. No BS, keep it professional. Rebound the basketball, relentless effort, and fundamentals. To me, it's more so fundamentals when we lose ourselves on the glass. I really think this Auburn team plays hard. They really do. There are times when we get up big on people and we kind of we get a little fancy and try to do some Harlem Globetrotters type things, and the other team gets back in the game. It's not an effort thing, though. It's just you're up by 12, 15. You kind of think back to LSU, South Carolina, Texas, some of those games where Auburn probably could have blown the opponent out by more. It happens. That kind of thing happens when you're a good team. And the other team's trying. Let's not forget that, right? Swagger back. Got to win a game, man. Got to get our swagger back. And I see a lot of you guys in the comments agreeing with my Chaney Johnson take here. Fonzie Thomas says, we need Chaney back in form. Yes, we do. Chaney Johnson, we need you back, baby. We need you back. We need Chaney on that glass. The mid-range game, everything that Chaney brings to the table on the offensive end, we need all that. But let's start on the glass. I need Chaney to rebound the basketball and get this team set back up in the half court on defense. We're just, when you allow these offensive rebounds, I mean, you saw it. That overtime possession versus Bama, it is what it is. You get lucky if Bama misses 2 shots in the same possession. You give them 3, they're going to hit it. They're going to hit it. And my number one fear for Auburn coming into the year was the 4 spot. And it wasn't because I didn't believe in Chaney. We knew that they were going to slide Janai to the 4 and move Dylan up to start at the 5. And I've always felt like Janai was more of a 4. So I like that. But as far as like if you have to close a game out with Janai at the 5, then Chaney at the 4 spot, he's got to do his job. And I got so accustomed to Jalen Williams being Mr. Dependable, right? Knowing that what Jalen Williams is going to bring to the table. So that was my fear coming into the year. Again, not that I didn't believe in Chaney, but just that I got so used to seeing Jay Will handle his business at that spot. And Chaney's done his job, and we haven't had to worry about it a whole lot. These last couple of games, we've kind of seen Chaney disappear a little bit, and Auburn's lost. So it's very obvious to me that Chaney Johnson is a key part of this Auburn team, and we need him to bring all of those things that he does. Bob says, just box out. Man, I mean, it can be that simple, right? In the game Saturday, it was grab the ball. We just could not get both our mitts on the ball. It was tough. Susan says painful, talking about the Bama loss for sure. It absolutely is. But there's only one way to rebound. And you guys have watched us a long time, Susan. I know you've been watching us a while. Y'all know how much I reference Kobe Bryant. 2009, I believe. Maybe it was 08, somewhere in that area. Kobe loses to the Boston Celtics, big rivals at the time. I don't know if they still are. I have no idea what's going on in the NBA nowadays. But the big rivalry, he loses to Kevin Garnett and the Celtics, comes back the next year, beats the Celtics in game 7. So the best way to get that bad taste out your mouth is to handle it again. And if you do see Alabama down the line in the SEC championship, in the tournament championship Sunday, or if you see them down the line in the big dance, we'll forget all about that buzzer beater, baby, if you handle it. If you win 2 out of 3 of them, I mean, the buzzer beater sucks. It sucks on senior night. That's Janai Broom's last home game. That's tough, right? But if you beat them in a championship for the SEC tournament, if you beat them in the big dance and eliminate them in their season, then absolutely all that kind of stuff does go away. Who are we talking about, Susan? Susan says prefer not to play that team again. I'm about to get out of here, but please let me know exactly who are you talking about. Tim says Auburn doesn't have to win it, but Auburn can't lose to Bama. See, Tim, what's up, buddy? Glad you're here. You're always here, always supporting us on social media. I couldn't agree with you more, brother. I could not agree with you more. Auburn doesn't have to win it, but boy, if you play Bama, you do. I can't deal with that again. You guys can't deal with that again. Absolutely. Let's get into a few more of these comments before we get out of here. Thomas says it's a new season. Absolutely. Hey, it's been great. It's been great. Bruce Pearl getting AP head coach of the year, SEC head coach of the year. We've seen all the accolades that this Auburn team has been receiving over the last couple of days of award season here. And they're all well deserved. Denver Jones getting first team all defense. So happy for that kid. He's earned that. He's busted his ass all year on the defensive end. And it took a long time. I mean, he was a great defender last year and didn't get the credit a lot of times. It's taken a long time for him to get the credit he deserves as an on-ball defender and off-ball, but he's deadly on-ball. So all these awards are great, but it's a new season. You're right. You're right. And Auburn's at the point now where another early exit, and not this week for the SEC tournament, but another early exit from the big dance, and there's going to be narratives that start to form about Auburn, right? Oh, you guys can win a lot of regular season games, but you don't win them when it counts. So it is a brand new season, and Auburn's got to make a deep run, in my opinion, and I've been saying that all year. Anthony says, I think the rest is greatly needed. My boys are tired. It's time to get recharged. Absolutely. When you're the number one team for as long as Auburn has been the number one team, when you've played so it's not like Auburn padded the non-con with a bunch of cupcakes, right? And then got into the SEC and it's been a grind. No, it's been a grind from Auburn since the opening game. Going to Maui, going to Houston, playing Purdue. Auburn's played everybody from every conference, right? Going to Cameron Indoor Stadium. Auburn's tired, probably mentally tired, because not only have you played the toughest schedule in the country and came out 27-4, might I add, but you took a trip to Hawaii, playing in a tournament style setting where you're playing day after day after day. Then you come into the SEC, which has been the most physical and the most talented we've ever seen the SEC. That's why we're so proud of this regular season championship, because it's been so tough. I mean, look at this. We're going to have 11, 12 teams in the tournament out of 16. This league is legit, man. So the guys have been beat up. It's so funny. It's so funny to me to see some of the excuses that are made for some guys on the team for the way they react to stuff, when it's like, well, Janai Broom seems to handle everything just fine, doesn't he? Janai Broom is getting mauled, y'all. He's getting mauled down low. Getting slapped upside the head. None of these things are intentional, but he's a big man. And that's what happens when you're the big man down low and you're beating and banging. You're going to get beat around, especially in this league. And Janai has handled it with class all year. Sure, he's got up and looked at the refs like, what in the hell? I would too. I mentioned on our last show, our reaction show to the game, I thought that Janai's first bucket, he got absolutely destroyed. I describe it as him getting hockey checked against the boards in midair. And he got up to the ref and was like, what in the world? It's been going on all year, man. Our guys are tired. They're tired. They're beat up. They've taken every team's best shot. night in, night out for the majority of the season, Auburn's been the top ranked team in the country and or one of them. So every team Auburn has played, Auburn has perceived their best. Auburn hasn't been afforded the ability to take a night off. Okay. And so Auburn's had to bring their best every single game. They've had to go again, and I know you always should theoretically, right? But it's a 31 game season, so like it's easier said than done, especially in this league. And you look at just the stretch that Auburn ended the season on, like that's brutal. The last week of the season, we played at A&M and then had Bama. Like, yeah, so absolutely, Anthony. These guys are tired physically, they're tired mentally, and you reward yourself, right? You reward yourself. You don't have to play Wednesday. You don't have to play Thursday. You ain't got to play till Friday. And then even then, you're going to play one of 3 teams that you should be able to handle. So I couldn't agree with you more. The guys completely needed the rest physically, mentally, and everything else. I'm expecting to see a rejuvenated, a fired up Auburn Tigers in Nashville this week. Appreciate the comments. Bob saying, great show, Dustin, War Eagle. Susan clarifying, saying that, yeah, I hear you, but it's a split. It's a split, Susan. It drives me nuts. I got to find out who's best, and I know our Tigers are best. So if we don't see him, we don't see him. I would love to see him, Susan, and somewhere in the big dance in their season. That'd be pretty sweet. Wouldn't it? But yeah, I mean, it's a very emotionally charged game when we do meet up with them, and I understand you not wanting to see him. Bob says AP Player of the Year is Janai Broom. Let's go, Big Janai. I didn't see that one actually. I just saw the Bruce Pearl one. I had been working most of the day. Bob says 27 shots in the paint, and Janai goes to the free throw line 5 times. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Listen, it really is ridiculous, right? I'm going to call it fair. Me and Blake have taken some heat for saying that CBM shouldn't have done what he done Saturday, but I'm going to call it fair. Like I've also been saying all year that Janai has not been getting calls that he does, right? Like he has not been getting the calls that I think Janai Broom should be getting. And to your point, Bob, 27 shots in the paint. And then Janai only goes to the free throw line 5. It's like, come on, you're missing calls here. And there's some of them are obvious. And it's the same thing that everybody always says with baseball with an umpire behind home plate. If your strike zone's a little off, then no one cares. As long as you're consistent with it. And by the second or third inning, we know, okay, you're calling that a strike. But with SEC basketball officiating, I've got no idea. Because I see CBM pop the Auburn after hitting a 3, and you give them a tech. And it's 2 free throws for the other team and the ball. And then a couple weeks later, I see a guy dunk on us, and it was a great dunk. And he just walks up into our guy's face and does a whole crane kick celebration, and it's nothing. Now, again, probably said this 30 times in the last week. I don't think the crane kick that Nelson did should have been a tech. But I also don't think the CBM pop should have been a tech. I don't think the Ja'Kai Howard kiss blow earlier in the season should have been a tech. But it's super inconsistent. And that's my issue with it. So if Janai Broom is getting destroyed down low and you're not calling anything, okay, fine. We're playing a physical game in the paint. Cool beans. Old school basketball, baby. Let's go. But then on the other end, you don't call it that way. And everything that we do is a foul. And Auburn commits some stupid fouls, but so do other teams. And that's the part that's frustrating. And I will say this, and if you don't believe me, watch the tournament. Like, start watching the games tomorrow, right? Watch these lower seeded games tomorrow. You're going to see really, really bad officiating. Watch all the games that are some of the games that don't involve Auburn, so you know you don't have your Auburn bias on, right? So I guess technically no Georgia games, no Bama games, no Auburn games to take your Auburn bias out. Watch some of these other games and tell me if it's not some of the worst officiating you've ever seen. It's awful. The officials in this conference are awful. Pat Adams isn't awful just against Auburn. He's awful, period. So it is what it is. It's really frustrating. Me and Blake have screamed from the mountaintops about transparency and what we think needs to happen from the officials, just in sports in general. Won't really get on that soapbox today. Our guy Thomas is in here saying, War Eagle, y'all. Hey, Thomas, man. Love you, buddy. Appreciate you. DM me if you need any help with what you got going on. I'd love to promote it and everything like this. My guy Thomas working on a lot of stuff. He's a musician. He's an outdoorsman. He's out there on that grill whipping up the food. I love Thomas, man. Great guy. Been rocking with me since before, 2 or 3 years now. Since Thomas, one of the reasons I actually got into the content game. He was like, hey, man, I love when you call into these shows. Go get on a show. So big shout out to Thomas, man. Listen, man, love you guys. Karen saying War Eagle Up Tempo Gang. Karen always repping the Up Tempo Gang, repping the Warport Network. Karen, we greatly appreciate it, man. Drop y'all's predictions in here. I know there's gonna be a lot of Auburn. Who's winning the tournament, guys? Who's winning the SEC tournament this week? Auburn. Y'all picking Auburn? Auburn, Florida, Bama. Who y'all got? Let me know if you're watching on replay. Let me know in the comments. I'm sure my prediction of Auburn losing in the semifinals will not be received well. Again, hope I'm wrong. It's just that rematch with Tennessee. I could see Tennessee get this in another close physical game. But as long as we get a win on the board, stay healthy, do the things I talked about earlier in the podcast, I will be very pleased. Hey, guys, listen, before we get out of here, get over to the warportshop.com and get you one of these T-shirts. Trying to pull it up. Here we go. warportshop.com. You can get you an up-tempo T-shirt. If you're interested in these memberships, baby, $3.99 a month. JV Squad gets you the members-only live chat, member shout-outs, priority reply to comments, early access to videos, and the exclusive gifts. Blake interviewed Jet Johnson, the Auburn right-handed pitcher, earlier this week. And that was live exclusively for our members. So when you go back and watch that and you see the members commenting on it and you're wondering, why did I get to comment on that? That was a live show just for the members. They got to watch that interview and they got to comment on it. They had early access to it. Then the Varsity Squad recruiting update videos. It's about that time, baby. It's about that time. I love it. I love it. Hugh Freeze put Big Cat a week before A-Day. When I tell you that's going to be 10 to 14 days of commitment frenzy, and I'm going to have so many damn videos to make for you guys, it's going to be crazy. So you're going to want to tap in. Game day group chat, gameplay with you. There's multiple of our members now that I have played. I've beat some of y'all. I've lost to some of y'all. In EA College Football 25, some of y'all got up in our dynasty. That was a whole lot of fun. Watch the film on Auburn Baseball. I'll say it again. My guy Blake, played college baseball. I've never met anybody in my life that knows the sport of baseball the way Blake does. I'm not just saying that. I love his watch the films on Auburn Baseball. He tells you, he did one on Derek Fabian a couple weeks ago. He lets you know kind of what the guys are looking for. Okay, the second pitch was a curveball, so this is what he's looking for on the third pitch. The pitcher's trying to set him up. Now, what does Derek Fabian think, and so on and so forth. So really, really interesting stuff. We all know that baseball is a cerebral game. There's a whole lot of thinking involved, and Blake really kind of walks you through that with those. And then I do my watch the film on the recruits. I've done some on the basketball commitments. I got a couple more I got to get out. Basketball film's a little bit harder to get, but we pumped one out on the recent commit. And obviously, anytime somebody commits on football, we're going to do the video for them. And then sometimes we'll come back and as their highlights update, like if a guy commits as a junior, we'll do the film breakdown. And then we'll get in there and look at his senior tape as well. Like I still got some Blake Woodby tape I want to pump out to y'all because I think he had a great senior year. Elijah Melendez, I want to look at his senior tape as well. So a lot of stuff coming that way. And also, if you do want one of them T-shirts, that Varsity Squad, $5.99 a month, we can get you the code for the discounted merchandise if you're interested in all that. So, man, look, thank you guys for watching. Please hit that like button, sub to the channel. Again, put this thing out on X. There's going to be a lot of people that come in at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, wondering where's the show, and that's already happened. So let them know that we had an early start today. I love each and every one of y'all. Stay on the lookout for for our members. Stay on the lookout. We're going to have some stuff coming to your feed in the next couple of days. Blake is going up to Vanderbilt this weekend, so I'm just going to pump out a preview for you guys on that. And he will be covering the game, the series this weekend versus Vanderbilt. And then we'll have the basketball content coming out as well. I might do like a watch party Friday night. We'll see how all that goes. I'll just kind of see how some things play out for me this weekend. But it's going to be a lot of fun, man. It's a busy time. Softball's killing it. Basketball's killing it. Spring practice is about to start for football. And there's some position battles in the spring football, like running back, wide receiver, the linebacker room. It's Deuce and Jackson Arnold at QB, right? So we're going to have a lot of reps between those two guys to talk about. We're going to have a whole lot to talk about there. Two brand new guys at quarterback. That's going to be fun. So we're just now getting started, man. No rest for the weary. A whole lot of Auburn sports going on. You guys stay locked in with us at the Up Tempo podcast. Go over there tomorrow. Catch our guys on the weekend, or not the weekend tailgate, the midweek report. And over at the Warport, College Loop goes up to those guys. And like I said, the Just a Sec pod. Be on the lookout for that. I'm going to pump it out within the next 24 to 48 hours. Really kind of break it. I'm tired of the SEC slander, y'all. I'm tired of it. I'm over it. Best football conference, best basketball conference, best baseball conference. I'm sick of all the people out here taking little pop shots. So I dive into the numbers. Stay on the lookout for that as well. Thank you guys, man. We'll catch y'all later in the week. It's War Damn Eagle, baby. I'll see y'all on the next one. I'm out of here. Peace.